Taurus, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your February 2023 monthly check-in reading for you. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what major arcana needs to come out for the sign of Taurus? What do we need to know for you? You have the Magician. So when I look at the Magician energy, this does represent, a master of a situation, a master of a craft. Now, when I talk about the Magician, it is like, it can have its negative connotations. A lot of people associate the Magician energy to the High Priestess, but the Magician is not actually associated to the High Priestess. The High Priestess is associated to the Hierophant. The Popus and the Pope is their original names, right? The Magician is pacted to the devil, and its association is the devil. When we look at the Magician energy, we have to understand that it can be a craftsman of something. It can exude, hyper brilliance and hyper genius, like someone, must have done something in order to obtain that. However, it doesn't always have to be. It could just be, like devilish brilliance. Now, when we look at the Magician, this is someone who is a master of all forms of magic, has everything he needs at his disposal to craft a situation to his perfection, to what he wants. Now, we can never truly be the Magician energy because the Magician is a figure of speech. People can practice, different forms of magic. Now, here's the thing. When I talk about magic, I think magic more as like unexplained technology. Like, that's what it is in the grand scheme of things. It is unexplained technology that baffles people because they don't understand how it works. So, for example, if you were to take a cell phone back to the year 1500s, they would probably call you a witch and stone you, right? Because they don't understand it. So when we look at this Magician energy, this is having, the power to deceive people, the power to trick people into thinking it's one thing when it's really not. Because remember, the Magician is also a scientist as well. It is heavily associated to Aquarius energy, the higher mind, the intellect, right? So let's look at this Magician. What do we need to know? We have the Ten of Cups in reversed, the Four of Wands in reversed, and the Two of Wands in reversed. Oof. So with this Ten of Cups, some sort of happiness is falling out. Some sort of situation that you really wanted to work out, that you really thought was going to be happy, is not working out. The Two of Wands is you don't know what to do now. You are stuck in a situation. All right. So this is kind of like the Magician doesn't get what he wants in the end. Okay. Let's look at the Ten of Cups for you. The Magician does not get what he wants in the end. But it's also about making lemons into lemonade with some sort of craftsmanship. And that's what the Magician does represent. Ingenuity when you are faced with some sort of despair. When it's kind of like, and I forget when light bulbs were invented, but imagine, you waking up in the middle of the night to try to light your candle, and then all of a sudden you realize that you didn't buy new candles and that candle is burned out, and so you're just bumping around in the middle of the night. That is probably why that person invented the light bulb, because they were tired of that happening. So this is kind of like ingenuity in the face of despair. The Strength card coming out with the Knight of Wands. So the Ten of Cups is clarified, or the Ten of Cups in reverse is clarified by Strength and the Knight of Wands. Something tried to hold you back, but you rushed towards it anyway. The Four of Wands, High Priestess, you understand High Priestess energy as, hindsight is 20/20. That was given to you, or that is being offered to you right here. It's kind of like chalk it up to experience. What's the Two of Wands in reverse? The Six of Wands to the King of Cups. So victory was given to someone you may not like right here. You're stuck because someone else has victory. Okay. So, in the face of adversity, what you can do is you can look at the situation for what it is, okay? You can look at, I rushed into a situation, I wasn't held back by my angels, kind of got burned with the Four of Wands in reverse. Look at it with the High Priestess energy. Hindsight is 2020. Why did it not work out? Because you rushed into something. Something was being offered to you, which is like, chalk it up to experience energy, learn from your mistakes. The Two of Wands in reverse is you don't know what to do because someone else has kind of like has the upper hand. It looks like some people are paying attention to this King of Cups right here. You have the Three of Swords coming out, you have the Ten of Wands, and you have the Four of Pentacles. Okay. In a way, you need to look at the sadness and you need to drop the despair. Okay? And you just need to let go of the situation. All right? You need to let go of whatever this is within your life and have victory somewhere else. Have a celebration about it. Have a celebration of being more wise about whatever this is. That's the Ten of Pentacles right here. You gain a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience by allowing failures to happen because that allows you to be more ingenious and more inventive with the Magician. Learn from your mistakes. It took that person, like, what was it? 300, 400 tries to get it right. Learning from the mistakes. Well, these elements don't work in order to make light, but this one does, and it doesn't burn out. So you have the Six of Pentacles, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and you have the Emperor. So it's kind of like what's being offered to you is a way to spin this into the Emperor energy. And when I talk about the Emperor energy, it does represent Aries energy, being boss, CEO energy. You can learn from your mistakes and become a boss of something. You can take this as, hey, it didn't work out. But at the end of the day, I can still use this to my advantage and still be the boss. Put it down, write it down in a book, say, this is what happened. Won't let this ever happen to me again. Wiser. And you could probably write a book about it one day. Turning your sadness and your failures into a victory with the Ace of Swords. The Seven of Swords, being clever about it, seeing the cleverness behind a situation with the Eight of Pentacles right here. Because here's the thing. You might have all these different paths to choose from, right? None of them might be working out for you. But with your cleverness, you might discover multiple paths to take, and things that didn't work out over here could be used to create something new over here. It's kind of like learning from your failures, learning from whatever this was right here, allows you to manipulate situations to your benefit over here. When I say manipulate, like you can plug in, the components and make it work. It's like, just because the filament didn't work in this light bulb doesn't mean that filament is useless. It could be used in a different situation or a different scenario somewhere else. It might not be able to produce light, but it could be used as, a different element in a different invention. So it's like, you're writing these book of failures, but at the same time, when you do finally find something that works and you work on a new situation, it's like, oh, I have all of these things right here already planned out and mapped out for me, so I can invent this and this and this and this. So it's just a learning experience, learning how to walk away from disappointment to find the other two cups that are standing up. With the Queen of Pentacles being offered to you for completion right here. Yeah, finding the other two cups, finding the keys, the secrets right here. Inventing new situations, inventing new paths within your life is very important within the month of February. So don't look at it as a failure. Look at it as like, hey, it didn't work out, chalk it up, write it down, move on to something else. Eventually, I'll figure out why these things don't work out, and I can plug them into different components and force something else or make something else work over there. Not force, but generally make something. Yeah, the Ten of Swords, facing the defeat of the Five of Wands and receiving a new cup right here. Kind of like licking your wounds in a way. But that's okay. That's okay. With the Ten of Swords coming down, this does represent a mental defeat about a Five of Wands situation, something that you fought for. But here's the Ace of Cups. Now, I want to look at this Ace of Cups. Is it being handed to you, or is this what you were fighting for? I think it's what you were fighting for with the Nine of Wands. The Ace of Wands coming out. Okay, so you're fighting for this Ace of Cups, right? You don't win the Ace of Cups. That's okay. Because what is behind you is the Ace of Wands. That's the opportunity that you are not seeing. So you're fighting for this emotional advantage over a situation, trying to fight for something to, it's like an emotion. It's not really, it's not solid. This is an opportunity. The Ace of Cups is an emotional situation. The Ace of Swords is an intellectual situation. You're not seeing the opportunity that's behind you as a brand new opportunity for you to move forward in a different path, okay? And it's kind of like leaned up behind you and you don't even see it. So whatever the situation is, this mastery that you're trying to attain over a situation, it's like right behind you. Six of Swords, move to it slowly. That's the Chariot. That's blending of the harmonies. That's the victory that you're looking for. That's the magnum opus with the Three of Pentacles. That is what you can craft. That is what you can create. It's a new opportunity for you to create something. It gives you a major victory. The sunlight, it makes you happy. So I think all this is, Taurus, is that it's just a minor situation, doesn't really work out. Maybe you put in a lot of effort and a lot of time into whatever this is. It's kind of like, writing an essay, submitting it, getting a bad grade. The teacher's like, rewrite the essay. I don't like any of it. And so you go back to the drawing board, you're upset, and so you rewrite the essay. And when you rewrite the essay, it's much better, but then you look back on the essay a little bit later on down the line, and you could submit it to something else instead. Or you could combine that essay that you wrote that the teacher didn't like and, publish it, or whatever it is. Something about it is just like a lot better somewhere else, okay? Magician energy. It's like you're pushing back against your own Nine of Cups right here, your own happiness. You're trying to force a situation to work that's not working. And you're fighting for something that's just that, it's an emotional feeling. So when I say fighting for an emotional feeling, you could be fighting for a person, a situation, a job, and you just don't end up successful in whatever the endeavor is, but you become successful when you step away from that, accept the defeat, look behind you, new opportunity, better. I just don't understand, why do you want this so badly? The Ace of Swords, or the Eight of Swords, and the Seven of Cups, because it's a fantasy. You're going around and around in a fantasy world, okay? It's smoke and mirrors. The thing that you are fighting for is an emotional smoke and mirrors. It doesn't actually exist, okay? You saw something as so glamorous, whatever the situation is. It's like the magician energy itself. Something so glamorous, it has all these opportunities, all these things, and it's glitzy and whatever, but it's mentally chaining you down, and you're fighting for just a feeling of something. The Queen of Wands. You're fighting for this Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very beautiful. She sits on her throne. She has the Ace of Wands, right? But at the same time, I don't think that this thing actually exists. And if it does, it's just not meant for you, because the Queen of Wands represents war, right? The Queen of Wands is not something that is good for the King of Pentacles energy, because she can burn it down. And that's what you don't want to do right here, Taurus, is you don't want to chase a fantasy that will end up burning you in the end. The Three of Cups with the Five of Pentacles, yeah, celebrating something that leaves you impoverished and leaves you lacking, going back to the Five of Pentacles energy. You don't want to go back to your base self, especially if you've gone to, like, say, the Seven of Pentacles, or you're starting to, move higher up. Say you have the King of Pentacles energy, you have King of Pentacles status, you're working towards the Empress, working towards your empire, working towards, that Pope energy, right? You don't want to celebrate something and it just, become the Five of Pentacles and bring you all the way back down from the King status to the Five of Pentacles, all because of an emotional situation. This is like coven energy. You don't want to get involved with people who are just not for your highest good. The Page of Pentacles. Yes, it's what it is. You don't want this, whatever this is. You don't want whatever this page is, truthfully. Two of Cups with the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Wands to the Queen of Cups. You want something that can be emotionally nurturing to you, connecting to a message that comes in really quickly with the Queen of Cups. You want to you want to grow something with the Queen of Cups energy. Taurus energy and Queen of Cups, it was opposite in Aries reading, but I feel like this reading right here is very good for you. The Queen of Cups can nurture your garden, and you can grow something beautiful and give it back to the Queen of Cups. You can take care of the Queen of Cups, right? So it's kind of like that's the situation, that's the ebb and flow of water and earth, right? Just because you take water from, a lake to water this tree doesn't mean that that tree can't produce, fruit juice, like apples, and then you can, crush them down into apple juice, right? So this is kind of like a transmutation right here. Being inventive. You don't want to be with this fiery, smoke and mirrors Queen of Wands who'll burn down the garden. You want someone that is going to, or this situation that is going to help water the garden, to help grow it into something that is very mature. The Page of Wands with the Page of Pentacles. Yes, you want to see this pentacle and grow it into a mature thing. You want to take this young seedling and have this Queen of Wands water it so it will grow into something else. You want to present the Queen of Cups a seed and say, if you water this for me, I can grow it into, Jack and the Beanstalk. That is that harmonious relationship right there. And I feel like, that is what is important about this, is that you finally find something that is right behind you that is much better. That is the Ace of Wands. So what do we need to know for Taurus? One more card. Peace. So try to get some rest right here. Try to find some peace, all right? Recover from this past situation, this past failure. It's not the end of the world. You need to fight for something that is, more harmonious with you. And it's funny because when we look at the Queen or the King of Cups right here, it was like you were fighting for this King of Cups, and the King of Cups, just kind of absconded with whatever, right? Okay. But you're the King of Pentacles. You don't really want the King of Cups because that's a clash of interest. That's a clash of fixed energy. You would rather have a queen. Kind of like the, doesn't really, well, it does matter based off of the elements. But the Queen of Cups really goes good with Taurus energy because it's like, taking the water and growing something and presenting it back to the Queen of Cups. Like, I can grow us a garden. You help me, I help you. It's very, symbiotic. The King of Cups is very stubborn. It's not going to change. It's not really going to help you because remember, kings are about self-interest. And self-interest represents, let me grow my own garden for me. Now, you don't want to have this double energy of two kings that are very fixed, trying to grow their own gardens and just clashing. Like, I'm going to save my resources. No, I want some of your resources. No. And that's Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy, and then you're chasing this Queen of Wands. Scorpio and the Queen of Wands go hand in hand together because Aries and Scorpio are co-ruled by Mars, right? What does Mars bring? Well, it brings death and destruction. And if you're the Empress energy, you don't want that within your life. You want something that is going to help you. Remember, the Empress has a wellspring of water behind her. So that's kind of what this is that you're looking for that wellspring of water that's going to help nourish this garden that you can grow together, that you can be peaceful in together. You want someone that is not going to be as self-serving as like Queen of Wands and the King of Cups energy. And that's what's funny about the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is also a very self-serving card. It's a very masculine queen. So let's look at your, which is familiar cards. What do we need to know for you? You have sovereignty and you have independence. Yeah, you want to be sovereign and kind of like independent right here. And when I say sovereign independence, you don't want two kings. You definitely don't want a Queen of Wands in your garden. Okay? The smoke and mirrors. And I'm not saying anything bad against Aries. Don't get caught up in the signs right here, because you might have a very good connection with an Aries who might have, you know, a very watery moon placement, something like that. Don't get caught up on sun signs. Sun signs don't really mean anything. Don't fawn over, you know, another sovereign energy that's only self-serving. Sovereignty in this independence energy is, imagine yourself as being sovereign. Imagine this queen as being sovereign as well. But you want to go and present this pentacle to this queen and say, if you help me, I help you. Not present it to the King of Cups and the King of Cups is like, no, I'm the King of Water, you're the King of Earth, you should figure it out. Wait for the rain. No, you want someone that is going to help you. On hidden talents, and that's kind of funny. It's like the Page of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles is the apple presenting the apple, and that's the hidden talent. You can grow things into like this beautiful spectacle, okay? You take a risk on me, I will reward you back. You have cosmic blueprint, because that's how it's supposed to work. Water needs earth and earth needs water. Ground down, ground yourself down. Imagine yourself being, you know, the king of the earth. And when I talk about king of the earth, like being like a druidic like energy, focusing on earth, focusing on nature itself. Taurus could be really good farmers if they chose to be. Could be very good, you know, agriculture experts. Could be very good at just whatever you set your mind to that is about growth and expansion, you rule that, okay? So, Perthos, secret, chance, gambling, secrets, windfall, synchronicity, and birth. The spiritual meaning is fate, the feminine, and uncertainty. So it's kind of like you have your femininities mixed up right here, because you are a feminine earth sign. Even if you're a male, Taurus is a feminine earth sign. Don't know how it is because it's ruled by the bull. Well, I know how it is, but I'm not going to get into all that. It's because it sits on a negative polarity of Venus, whereas Libra sits on the positive polarity. You have a masculine sitting on the negative polarity, you have a feminine sitting on the positive polarity. It gives it that duality. You need to find the right feminine energy that goes hand in hand, because, you know, the King of Pentacles kind of is looking at the masculine energy of Libra and saying, I want that, but it really doesn't balance it out properly, okay? So, and when I say balance it out properly, it's like, you need this feminine balance figure, or you need this like more feminine masculine balance to a situation. And it's funny because the Queen of Cups is Cancerian energy, which is feminine with the moon. It represents the mother of the moon, but at the same time it's also ruled by the Chariot, which is a man crowned with the stars. So it can be that, you know, masculine feminine energy at the same time. So definitely don't get wrapped up about this King of Death, and that's something else. Remember, Scorpio is death energy. Do you really want death in your garden? No, you want something that will nurture it. And Cancerian energy, that Queen of Cups energy, is the nurturer, it is the grower, it is the mother. And Taurus is like the divine father. So that's the synchronicities right there. You have Fredo, speed your journey, ease a transition, aid communication, bring good news, and find your spiritual way. So this is all about, this is not a love reading. I know I talked about love. I don't like doing love readings. Don't take it as, you know, you're going to find your divine spiritual counterpart, blah, blah, blah. Understand not wrapping yourself up in a situation that it's not a failure. This is all about symbiotic relationships right here. Not chasing something and throwing everything that you have at something who's not going to help water you, which is very Aries reading. So you might be dealing with an Aries because Queen of Wands did come out. You want someone that is going to help nurture you and help grow you, okay? You present something to them and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to water this. So this could be, you know, like an investment right here. Maybe you're taking an investment to the bank. Maybe you are trying to grow a business right here. And you need someone who is all aboard and not just self-serving, like just there for a paycheck. Maybe you want someone who is having the same vision and the same interest as you, okay? Hiring people who have the same vision and the same interest as you is very important. So this could be, you know, maybe you hired someone, you paid them, they kind of self-sabotaged you, whatever the situation is, move on from that and find someone who's like all about the business now. You wrote it down about the personality you don't want in your company, so find the personalities of the people you do want. So anyway, Taurus, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later.